Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing some 2x2 CLL example solves. So for those of you that don't know, CLL is a relatively intermediate to advanced-ish method on the 2x2 where you solve one layer on the 2x2 and then you solve the rest of the puzzle with just one algorithm. So CLL as a method has about 40 algorithms, and I intend to release a video where I go through all of my 40 algorithms for CLL. I have been using the method for a while now, so I guess I'm pretty decent at building that first layer and predicting my CLL sometimes. As for whether I'm qualified to give you these example solves, I have an official average of 2.79, which isn't like too great, but it's fine, I guess. And that was with CLL. So yeah, I do have a couple of sub 3 averages with CLL and a lot of low 3 averages. So yes, without any further ado, follow along with these scrambles to see how I solve the 2x2 using the CLL method. You can also find all the scrambles in the description. So yes, let's get right into this. So this is the first scramble, and right away I look for bars, right? That's the first thing you always look for when you're doing CLL. So I see a yellow bar with opposite colors, and the reason you look for bars with either opposite or matching colors is because if it's matching, well, that's great, it's forming a layer. If it's opposite colors, then the advantage is that you can just cancel into an R2 F2 R2 just to make it a matching layer, and I will show you how that works. So for example, I have this yellow bar with red and orange here, so these are opposite. So I would like to put this yellow. So this yellow and this yellow are the other two pieces for the layer, and yellow green would go with green blue to make an opposite. And before I insert this yellow green like that, what I would do is actually get this over here to pair it, and instead of just doing the R prime, I can cancel into an R2 F2 R2 or an R2 B2 R2 in order to save moves. So this is a scramble, and I could just do U2 R B2 R2, and that solves an entire layer, right? That's yellow solved. So this was the scramble, and just again it's R U2 and then R B2 R2. I don't think there was an R in the original scramble, but anyway, yes, that's basically solving the layer. And then this is a pi case, so I identify this case. I will go through all of my CLL in a video that's coming out very soon, so stay tuned for that. But for now, this is a pi case, and I do this alg for the case. So yes, that is that. Let's move on to the next one. Here's the next scramble, and right away again I look for bars. So I have a blue bar with opposite colors, I have a green bar with opposite colors, and I think I will be going for the green bar. That's just because the blue bar doesn't have any pieces facing upward which I could use to influence the other piece while inserting. So the green bar, if you look at it, has a piece facing up, and I could use this perfectly. So here is the green bar with the opposite colors. So what I'm looking for is to pair these two in, like with this white matching this yellow, and then before inserting it do a B2 or an F2. So I would do that by using this, the fact that this is an empty slot, like an empty layer entirely. I can do U prime R to pair it, and instead of doing U R2, I can just do U B2 R2, and that gives me a T case, and I solve this case like this. So yeah, that's that. Let's go to the next one. Here's the next scramble, and again I'm looking for bars. I don't need to go over this. Wow, this is actually really lucky. So I am generating these scrambles randomly off of CS Timer as I'm making this video, and we got lucky again. So the red bar here again has opposite colors, and this piece is one move away from being inserted, and the last red piece is here, which I can just pair with this piece as an opposite bar, and before inserting I can just get it here and do F2 R2 to make the layer. So that's 3 solves with the exact same thing. And here is an anti-Sune case. This is a Nicholas, and I identify that with this white and yellow being opposite. So just do the alpha Nicholas, and that's solved. Moving on. Here's the next scramble, and this one, I think this one's nicer, to be honest. Because like we don't have any opposite bars, but then we have, like, so for example you have this blue bar, or you could see that as the yellow bar. I mean, there's a lot of things to do here, and I know I'm taking more than the stipulated inspection time, but bear with me. I'm trying to give you a good solution for this. And I would probably do yellow. Sorry, it's either yellow or orange, my bad, yeah. So I think I would do yellow, and the reason for that is I see this yellow. So here's the yellow bar. I put it on the left. I tend to put all my bars on the left so that I can use the, you know, all of the right and up layer moves, because that's really easy. So here's yellow, orange, blue. This is yellow, orange, green. So I know this yellow, orange belongs here, and I can insert that with U and R2. So U and R2. But instead of doing R2, I can use this to influence this piece and just do R U prime R. Instead of R2, I add a U prime, and the U prime ensures that both of them are solved, and that's the layer. And it's another pi case. That's how I solve that case. Moving on. Here's the next scramble. Well, a lot of weird bars, I guess, but I think blue might have to be it. Or actually, this is an interesting. Oh, okay, this is a much better scramble. So here, this is a new case where I'm going to use a bar that's not opposite colors. So here, as you can see, this is the bar, and green and orange are not opposite or matching. However, I see white, blue, red, and blue can match with white, as in with blue, the white blue. So what I can do is insert this piece, and I will use this piece and the fact that the last white piece is facing upward. The reason for this is I can use 3 moves after I insert this. I can just bring this over and do R2 U prime R2 to solve this entire layer. So this is how it, this is how it was. So I saw the bar, I saw the solvable piece, and I saw that this was facing upward, so I influenced it like that, and I got another pi case. Wow, this is weird. Why am I getting the same pi case? Yeah, let's move on to the next one. Here's the next scramble. It's gotta be, it's either white or red, of course. Is it obvious? I feel like it's obvious. Yeah, it's gotta be white or red. And I think I would go with red here, just because white is really inconvenient in terms of, well, I guess it's not too inconvenient. Like, you could just do UR2, UR prime to solve the layer. But I'm gonna do red for the simple reason I like this thing where I cancel into my next corner. So like, for example, here this red is unsolved. This is a bar. Again, I put the bar on the bottom left. And I like to cancel into the insertion. So here red, green, yellow has to go back here. So I can just do U2 to get it here and R to insert it. And then this corner would come here, and I can solve that with RU prime, R prime, U, RU prime, R prime. So the R of this insertion can cancel into that like this. So again, that's a layer. So that's a really quick layer for me. And then I get this L case, which I do like this. And yeah, next one. Here is the next scramble. Right, so it's either green or red, because I just see that those bars are, they're very appealing, and I don't really have anything else on the puzzle. Here I would do green, simply because actually you could do red with the same logic I just applied, to use a move of a previous corner to cancel into the next corner solution. So you could do U2 R prime, getting this here, and then R prime U prime R U, R prime U prime R would solve it. But I think I would go with green, because it's pretty much the same thing. I would insert this corner here, and as instead of just doing U prime R2 to insert it, like U prime would get it here and R2 would put it here, I'm going to break in between the R2. Again, similar to a previous solve where I broke in between the R2 to make a pair or an inverted pair. So here it's U prime to set it up here, and instead of R2 I'm going to do R U prime R, and then that sets up this insert in the back, that simply. And I got an edge case, which is always good. So that's how I do that edge case. And yeah, moving to the next one. Here's the next scramble. I see that, wow, this is so cool. So this is where CLL really teaches you to be dynamic with the building of your first layer. And this is because here I would normally have thought, okay, I have a blue pseudo bar, it's not even a bar. But the really cool thing is yellow. So if you look at the yellow pieces, this only comes with practice, like you start to observe these patterns, but yellow, blue, orange, yellow, blue, red, right? So that would solve that part of the layer with just an F. And yellow, green, orange is not affected by that F, but this yellow, green, red goes up here, which makes yellow, green and this green be like, you can pair it with just one move, which is an R prime. So you can do R prime, U prime, R2. So this is a 5 mover for a first layer. So F, R prime, U prime, R2. That solves the first layer. That's a really cool way of building the first layer. And would you believe it? I swear I'm not staging this. I've got another pie case and it's the same one. Like, why is it the same pie case? Anyway, I found this layer to be really cool. In fact, I'm just gonna go over it again now. So it was yellow, and I did F to pair this, R prime to pair this. That's F and R prime to two moves to make 2 bars, and then U prime R2 to insert it. So I think that was really cool. Let's move to the next one. Here's the next scramble. It's gotta be yellow or green, simply because yellow we have an inverted bar, green as well we have an inverted bar, and I think it's gotta be yellow, because yellow, so like this piece would belong here on an inverted layer, and so when I do U2 R2 to put it there, I can just do a U in the middle of the R2. Again, you break in between the R2 to build the layer. So U2 R prime U R prime, but instead of the R prime, since it's an inverted layer, I can just do RB to R2, and that solves the layer. And I got a Sune. That's pretty simple. So yes, a pretty straightforward solution, but I think it was cool that I had this sort of setup where I could influence the other piece just by solving it differently. And in fact, oh my god, I think I could have cancelled here. So this is another thing that CLL teaches you, which is EG1 and EG2 are more efficient. That's literally what it teaches you, because if you knew those, you would be better at recognizing this pattern, that you were going to get a Sune off of this case, and that you could cancel into the Sune as well. Like, that's really crazy. But yeah, that scramble. Let's move to the next one. Here's the next scramble. It's gotta be yellow with this inverted bar or orange with this inverted bar, and I believe it must be orange, simply because, so look at this orange bar, right? I put it on the left. Orange, white, green belongs here because white and yellow are inverted colors, and the last orange piece is 1 move away from being paired with that. So so I can just do UR to solve the inverted layer, and UR prime F2 R2 to cancel into an R2 F2 R2. So UR prime F2 R2 solves the entire orange layer, and I have this is an edge case. Yes. What do I remember how to? Yes. So this is an edge case, and that's how I solve it. This is the next scramble. Okay, so this is our first properly challenging scramble, I guess. Not really, actually. So here I look for, so there's no bar, right? There's nothing to build off of. Again, you look for patterns. Say you see these 2 white pieces, white, green, red, and white, blue, orange. So these are placed correctly relative to each other to build a layer, which means I need to place the other 2 pieces strategically. And the way I would do that here is I would solve this white, blue, red here. This is like solving your first layer on a 3x3, nothing different. So I would solve this here, and with a U2 RU prime R prime, and that would make the orientation of this such that it's ready for a 3-move insert in the back. So U2 RU prime, instead of R prime, in fact, I can just cancel with a BR prime. So how do I set that up? Yeah, so this is how it was. So you can do U2 RU prime BR prime. That's a really cool way to solve the layer, and that solves the layer. This is an anti-Sune case, this is a Nicholas, so again blue and green are opposites, that's how I recognize it. So yeah, that's that scramble. Here's the next scramble with a blue inverted bar, a yellow inverted bar, and that's it. So the blue inverted bar is what I'm going to go with, because I see the blue facing up and this blue. It's really easy to pair these into an inverted bar because red is here and orange is here. So you can do RU, and before the R2 just do a B2 or an F2 to make it a solid, like a layer. And this is an anti-Sune case, it's just Nicholas. That was a pretty easy solve. Let's move to the next one. Here's the next scramble. We have, well, okay, we have a yellow inverted bar, and we have a red in a kind of an interesting place. I think we have to go with the yellow inverted bar, although it is a lot of moves, but I guess we don't really have an option in this case. At least I don't see anything better right now, so I'm gonna go with the yellow inverted bar. So in this case, this piece has to go here, and this piece is in the right place, but it's like flipped. So how would I go about this? I think I would remove this piece and use it to insert this, or no, would I do that? Wait, maybe I would just solve this piece and that sets this up for an insert. Like, there's so many ways of doing this. Okay, fine, I'm just gonna go with this. So what I'm gonna do is insert this piece here and use that insertion to cancel into solving this piece. And since it's an inverted bar, I use the last moves of this piece to cancel into an R2, F2, R2. So that would look something like that. And that's also there. And this is a T case, pretty simple. Let's move to the next one. Here's the next scramble, possibly the last scramble, and we have... Okay, so this is actually, I'm really happy this came up. This is one of the cases I wanted to cover. So here we see a white almost solved layer, and we have a white inverted bar here and not a white bar here. It's just random colors. So I use the inverted bar and I see that this corner is just one move away from being in this slot where it belongs for the inverted bar. And with that F, that would set this corner up here to go here with 3 moves. And I can use that 3 move insert of RU prime R prime to cancel into an R2, B2, R2. So all in overall it would be F to make this entire inverted L, RU prime RB2, R2. That's it. And this is a U case and it's that. So yeah, I hope this set of example solves was helpful to you, and I hope this encourages you to use CLL in your solves because it is really nice and really fun. And once you learn all the algorithms, it's a really easy method. Of course, you need to stay in touch and keep practicing in order to keep recognizing cases well. But you know, that comes with motivation, and that's what I hope this video has given you, because it took me a long while to actually get motivated to learn CLL, and once I did, I never looked back. And please leave your comments if you have any doubts and if you want to see any more 2x2 content, because contrary to popular belief, I'm not too bad at the 2x2. So yes, that is all for this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Stay tuned and peace.